Hi, I'm Nimna. First, thank you for being here. I'm excited to share a little bit of my process with you. So I'm an artist and a designer, first a designer, then an artist. This is what the inside of my brain looks like. I'm a very chaotic designer. I started off studying fashion and then immediately after never worked in the fashion industry, moved on to various different things and was trying to experiment with anything that felt right, which ultimately led in a confusion. When people ask me what I do, I don't know what to say. I think that's with all creatives. But there was something that I really liked throughout, and that was telling stories and creating characters. And what I'm going to share today is basically how being a designer in Colombo and living in Colombo kind of shaped that practice. So this is my work when I was studying bachelor's, which you will realize is completely different to what I do now. But I have to confess, all my influences were from Western ideologies. I think a lot of us maybe have gone through that, and I was obsessed with David Bowie, glam rock, the 80s, all of that stuff. And when my friends were doing projects related to local things or local culture, I would judge them and I would think, why are you talking about local things so much? This is our life, let's talk about something else, right? But that was actually my creative blind spot. I overlooked local culture for a long time. And it was only during COVID, I think, when I was doing my master's, that I kind of started to look at things around me differently, and I realized that the chaos around Colombo fit perfectly with the chaos in my head. And pop culture has always been something that has inspired me in my work. So supermarkets, things we consume, is a huge part of that. I love going to supermarkets, and especially coming from a fashion background, sort of analyzing visuals and comparing foreign products and local products and identifying that packaging can be really interesting was so exciting to me. So this is one of my reflections on chips, if they were made out of plastic, tomato flavored chips, which I really like. And again, this is sort of how I reflect on this. Is not even an artwork or anything. These are mostly pictures of my sketchbook. And I also teach design foundation at AOD. So I teach art history and design history, and one of the things that we talk about is pop art every year. So one assignment we do is we go to the supermarket, pick a product, which is essentially what popular culture is all about, and we turn it into a pop art portrait. And these are some demos I have done with the students. So supermarkets is one of the things that unknowingly shaped, I think, what I do. Then moving beyond supermarkets, you have what we call Sillera Kada, which is the small shops that you find on the road. Supermarkets are very curated. These shops are unfiltered, they're messy, they're not curated at all, which I love. You will find so many things in these places, and these are the... And also, when you walk around those shops and on the sides of the shops, you still find these hand-painted signage. And between the clutter of all those digitally made advertisements, it's so refreshing to still see these. One really, an example that I think a lot of us will relate to is the Matara Batkade, which you find in every corner. It's not even about how beautiful it is painted. Yes, if you go to analyze it, you will find different things, but it still has a charm to it, and it's very interesting to sort of analyze how people communicate. So these are the things that basically excite me now. During COVID, started doing a lot of things. I'm sure we all did, because there was a lot of time. Found media, newspapers at home. I was living with my parents. This was the time they used to still buy newspapers. And I started just doing collages out of things that I found, which is why you will see a lot of COVID-related imagery here. And I think this is basically how, even during the Dada movement, people started making those collages. And you find the shops that sell only newspapers, but I like the shops where you can buy a plastic bucket and a mop and a kitty packet and all of those things. And this piece in the middle and on the right here is a piece I did recently for one night only art exhibition at Barefoot, curated by a very talented artist called Bilal, and he actually encouraged me to do this collage after seeing very random collages that I did. And newspapers are just a really fun way of decoding all these socio-political messages in a very digestible way, because if you buy one newspaper, you will find a picture of Mickey Mouse, of the Sri Lankan police, and also Lord Ganesh. So it's very exciting. And lottery tickets, this is like a manifestation I want to design one day. There's so much you can do in like a small piece of paper. It's like a representation of hope, and I remember as a kid, you know, we used to buy those, and even if you win like 20 rupees, you get so excited. So it's like very interesting how something that is so disposable can also be something that's very aspirational. So yeah, I hope I get to design a lottery ticket one day. And then finally, on the topic of consumerism, we have matchboxes. I love matchboxes. That's one of my friends who she bought it back for me from India. These are the kind of things I like. I tell my friends to bring back for me. I've even bought like those packets of oil lamps just to collect the matchboxes. On the right is a matchbox that me and my friend, another talented artist, we held an exhibition, and that was actually the invite that we gave out to people. For context, this is that exhibition. It was based off of a character called Sepali. She is a baby elephant. She's like a wild girl who likes to collect shiny things, trinkets. She's physically augmented with these really cool sci-fi tools. And ultimately, we were able to sort of work with 16 different artists. And the exhibition was called 3 Points of View. So it was all about different perceptions of different artists on this character. So it was like a celebration, 1 month celebration of art, music, performance, visual mapping, animation. One of my friends also made a Sinhala rap song about Sepali, and yeah, so that for context, this is what that matchbox led into. Moving on to transportation, this is also one of those things that we, I think, overlook a lot. Lorries and trucks, I don't even have to talk much about it. I think in the South Asian region, all of us have these, we all love it. How I reflected on lorries is this is 2 pieces. I was commissioned by a restaurant in Navala to do artworks for their restaurant. And it's like a pan-Asian eatery, so all of their food is also very much inspired by this multiculturalism that we have. And that is basically a lorry driver that is meant to be. So even things like, you know, the fake grapes that people hang in their vehicles, to the lime and chili. It's so interesting to see how spirituality and religion also align with transportation. And it says Karambu okay please down there because of, you know, the sayings on lorries. I was just a play on that. Then tuk-tuks. I love tuk-tuks. It's my favorite way to get around. The only reason I think people wouldn't like tuk-tuks is if you fix your hair and then, you know, the wind messes it, but I don't have hair, so it's fine. And it's like such a cool reflection on the owner, who is most likely also the driver. There's different tuk-tuks that have different things. I mean, I'm hi-fiing, we call him Surapappa in Sri Lanka. And the conversations also that you have with these riders, sometimes they're very wholesome, sometimes it's like political, and sometimes, most of the times, it's about the fights you have about cash or card. But it all adds to the experience, and this is yeah, the best way to get around in Sri Lanka. And also similarly buses. Buses is, every bus has like an assortment of their favorite religious figures, their favorite blessings, with the weirdest sayings. And these stickers you can find everywhere. Like I used to collect them because there is a roadside seller everywhere, every bus stop. And recently I discovered this place, which is in Peta. It's called Kumar Stickers. These people apparently have been making these stickers for years, and obviously I went mental. I have a huge bag now of bus stickers. And yeah, you can find a bus sticker that says chicken curry. I think it stickers for anything. There's one says chicken curry, potato curry, for every blessing, for every car brand. There's stickers for everything basically. And this is the part of consumerism I wish I knew about growing up. Then also there's the places that you see. So these are places we call communication centers in Sri Lanka. When we didn't have computers when we were younger, you know, we would go there to take a printout. This is Salaka, which is our best friend because it's open till 12 midnight. So you can do everything there. I think you can even apply for like visa there. You can get your architectural prints. You can take photos, get them framed. You can buy toys, stationery, and next door you can also buy fried rice. So it's like a place where it's a very local place. It's a good place to say this is what Sri Lanka is. And then there is the Holy Grail, Peta, Pamanua, and Golface. This is like your local kitsch paradise, and one trip to one of these places means you come back with a lot of things you don't need, and also a lot of ideas. I have a cupboard full of things that I have just bought, waiting to be turned into a project which will happen soon. And this jacket I'm wearing actually also is a collection of patches that I found in Peta and Pamanua on the many trips that as a design student, as a designer, that's like probably the place you will find us the most, Peta and Pamanua. Then there is also places of worship. I mean, we've been going to these places our whole lives with our parents, whatever it is, but I think when you start looking at things differently, you always find what it is that you like about these places. Yes, it's inspirational because of like historical value, architecture, but also like the aunties who sell flowers. And when you start talking to them, you start sort of, you know, you become friends with them, and then you realize how like an entire economy has been built on religion, which is interesting to say the least. This is one auntie I met in my usual morning walks because I pass a temple. She was very happy to be photographed. So yeah, finally I'd like to close with saying that multiculturalism is like so big in Sri Lanka, and as a 30-year-old there's still things that I'm learning every day. And even though it took me a little bit to get here, I'm happy that now I have things to look at, and it made sense for me because of how I understood culture and how I understood people later on, to go into character design and to tell these stories through character design, whether it's through facilitating, working with musicians, working with restaurants, exhibitions, game design, fashion, which I still do sometimes. So yeah, it just made sense for me to bring all of that chaos in my head and focus it into character design and storytelling. Even if a client doesn't ask for a mascot, I make them one now. And yeah, so I'm happy that I'm here in Colombo, and I'm happy that I started looking at Colombo like this, and I hope you can also find your chaotic self in Colombo. Yeah, that's it from me. If you want to talk more about art, design, aunties who sell flowers, whatever it is, that's where you can find me. Thank you for being here. Take care.